Some folks will excel at pretty much any business that you put them in front of, especially the insurance industry. Meanwhile, I hate to say this, guys, but right around 90% or higher of the insurance agents who enter our industry will fail multiple times before they either exit the industry altogether or something changes for them. Things turn around and finally success. Doug Massey here, and today I'm going to be sharing my firsthand experience on why so many agents fail out of the life insurance industry only to end up doing something else, something completely different. And if you'd like a copy of the medical questions underwriting page that you're going to want to use like for every single presentation you make, just stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you how to get this for yourself. That way you can actually use this with every client that you meet with. And yes, please like this video, and we do suggest that you subscribe if you're new. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like pretty much every week. First off, if insurance sales was easy, everybody would be doing it. Now I know it feels like that sometimes, right? It's not. One of the biggest fails is the way that a lot of companies recruit unlicensed insurance agents into their organizations by selling them on a lot of, how do I say this, potentially misleading information? Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but that's exactly what it is. And I've heard marketers stating that, like, I don't know, their leads are the best in the industry when they weren't. And I was also once part of an organization who would make it sound like insurance sales is super easy. Anybody can do it, when it's not. And anybody can't do it. It takes hard work and a lot of time for most of us before we actually start seeing success. So now you have all these agents in the insurance industry who pretty much have no chance of being successful because the agency that they're with maybe misled them, and or maybe their mindset just isn't right, or they don't have money. You need money to invest into this business, guys. Or maybe even like they just never been in sales and therefore don't quite grasp the concept of how important it is to be able to master the art of influence and persuasion. Recently, I experienced a situation where there was an agent who had already been with an insurance agency that he regretted working with. In his attempts to do his due diligence and researching my agency, he did something pretty stupid, and it inadvertently exposed him, in my opinion, as being someone that I couldn't trust. Therefore, I ended up having to turn the guy away. And maybe his exposure to that unethical agency, the other place that he was, and that's what I feel like, some of these places are just super unethical. Maybe that has something to do with his behavior, with what he did. I'm not gonna get into that, but I don't know. Maybe he was just so desperate to find a good place to work through that he could trust that he just didn't think about the consequences of his actions. Either way, the referenced agent was literally unemployable. And again, at least in my mind. And I think a lot of people like this guy ended up figuring out a way to make money in our industry. And that's also part of the reason that there is such a huge agent turnover percentage. Now, hang with me for a second. To me, it seems like these shady multi-level marketing insurance companies are just churning out more unethical agents, where they're basically creating them, and agencies and agency owners. And now our industry is overwhelmed with people who literally don't know right from wrong. And of course, there's work ethic. Look, I speak with a lot of agents who don't have the work ethic that it takes to excel in our industry. And then when they fail, they never seem to be able to accept that they failed because they didn't do the activities. Here's another really good example of a failed agent. So this guy reached out to me about our remote final expense sales platform, the one where we can guarantee 20 to 30 appointments per day for each agent. And he wanted to know if our leads were of people, get this, who wanted a quote for the insurance, or if they were setting the appointment because they wanted to buy the insurance. Honest to goodness, guys, this dude was looking for leads of people who were just wanting to hand him their money without him having to do any work. And I feel like he just wasn't willing to learn how to sell. Really, I mean, you've got to learn the business. You have to understand how people think and do things, and then once you do, they're easy to sell, especially if they're searching for the products and looking for a quote. So, of course, I had to explain to him that his thinking process was broken and that the problems he was having most likely weren't because of the leads, but actually because he was standing in his own way. You know, he was literally the only thing in the way of his success. At the end of the day, most agents struggle and fail due to their own decisions. Do your due diligence, guys. Research the heck out of any insurance agency that you decide to work with, you know, that you're thinking about going with. Not just the father company, but the actual person who is recruiting you and, well, who you're gonna have to depend on for help. Make sure that they have positive reviews, you know, Google reviews, and maybe a bunch of video testimonials of their own agents that have actually worked with them. And don't ever sign anything or do any contracting without reading all the small print and knowing for sure what your commission level is going to be for every single product. For a copy of the medical questions page that I mentioned earlier in the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on our remote final expense sales platform, the one where I mentioned earlier, where you can get like 20 to 30 appointments every single day of people expecting your call, just shoot me an email at that same address. Most important, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.